Hello everyone. So now in this video we'll be discussing on the topic of anatomy of heart. So we will be seeing actually the anatomy, and now in anatomy first we have to know the weight. So weight of the heart is 250 to 300 gram, and where it is located? It is located on the left side of the chest. Okay, and main work of the heart is to pump the blood through the human body. So it actually pumps the blood towards away from the heart and towards the heart. So we have different types of vessels for that. Now intrauterine development, how the heart is actually formed during pregnancy. So by the end of the third week of pregnancy, passive oxygen diffusion becomes insufficient to maintain the metabolism of developing embryo. Okay, so at that time the mother's heart works, but later on first heartbeat begins on the 22nd day of intrauterine development, and by 4th week active blood circulation of fetus is established, and by 7th week 4 chambers of the heart is formed. So this is from embryology, that is a development of the heart during pregnancy. Now what are the chambers of the heart? So we have 4 chambers, 2 atria, that is also called as atrium, and 2 ventricles. Now first starts from left ventricle and ends in right atrium. This is called as systemic circulation, and which starts from right ventricle and ends in left atrium. So that is the blood passes through the lungs, enrich the oxygen blood and get rid of carbon dioxide. So that is called as pulmonary circulation. Okay, so we have two types of circulation. Now what are the surfaces we will see on heart? Anterior, back, lower and lateral. So anterior will be of sternocostal, back will be of vertebra, lower will be of diaphragmatic, lateral will be pulmonary. So that meaning is that what the structure is actually present from that side. For anteriorly we will see sternocostal, that is your sternum ribs will be present, back vertebra will be there, lower side diaphragm will be present below the heart, and from lateral side we have lungs. So we have pulmonary surface. So in heart, which structures are present on anterior side? Left ventricle. Back side we have left and right atria, that is auricles, and on the lower side we have actually all the same chambers, because from the lower, posterior and anterior both will be visible, and from the lateral side we have the edges of the heart, that is right and left. So we can see diagram here to relate some points which we have discussed. So in this diagram you can see the chambers actually. So these are the atrias. These are atrias which are actually present on the posterior side, as I told you, on the vertebra side, back side. And below that we have the right ventricle, this, and this ventricle is your left ventricle. You can see this labelings are there. Okay, so this is right ventricle. So these are the vena cavas which will actually bring the blood towards the heart, and we have aorta, the largest artery, which will take the blood away from the heart. Okay, so these are the chambers we will be seeing here. Okay, and surfaces accordingly, this below surface will be diaphragm, above anteriorly we will be having ribs, over this when the heart is present inside the body. Now what are the valves we will see? So valves we have ventricle, between ventricle and atria on the left side, means on the left side we have mitral valve, right side same we have tricuspid valve. Okay, so they prevent the backflow of blood from ventricles to atria. Third we have aorta, and between aorta and the left ventricle we have aortic valve, and between right ventricle and pulmonary artery we have pulmonary valve. So we have 4 valves actually. Okay, and in heart we have muscles. So muscles, they are called as papillary muscles, and we have in heart, and these muscles actually do murmurs. Due to working of muscles, the heart contracts and relaxes, and first tone, which is systolic, ventricular contraction, second tone diastolic, that's called as relaxation, which occurs due to the closure of aortic and the pulmonary valve, these two valves, third and fourth. Okay, so these valves you can see on the diagrams. So these are the tricuspid valve on the right side, the right ventricle, and similar we have here mitral valve. Okay, between the left atrium and left ventricle to prevent the backflow of blood, and semilunar valve, which is also called as your pulmonary valve. Okay, so these are actually present between right ventricle and pulmonary artery. and we have aortic valve. So aortic valve also is present. Aortic valve is right aorta and a left ventricle, so it will be present here. Clear? Now let's move on to the veins. What are veins and arteries in heart? So vessels carrying blood to heart are called as veins, and blood flows from heart is called as artery. Now blood circulation of heart, we have right, let's see the diagram for the circulation. Okay, so right and left coronary artery branch from the first part of aorta. So this is the aorta, you can see this aorta. So from here you can see this is your left coronary artery, left side, and this is your right side. So they are branching from aorta. This is the blood circulation of heart, and left runs in the atrioventricular sulcus, anterior interventricular sulcus, and right runs in the posterior interventricular sulcus. Okay, so you can see here. So these are the sulcus. So left will be actually running on the posterior side. You can see this is going on the posterior side. Left is not going, means right is going. You can see here, these are the posterior interventricular branch, these are the anterior interventricular. The anterior is from the left side, left coronary artery, and the posterior comes from this. You can see this dotted. So they are actually behind the heart on the posterior side. So they are from right coronary artery. Clear? In heart valve, we have actually structures. Okay, we have wall structures, endocardium, myocardium, 3 layers, epicardium. Okay, we have 3 layers from inside to outside. So most inside we have endo, then myo, middle, epi, outside. And if we see microscope, we will see cardiomyocytes, which are the myocardiums of the heart muscles, these cells present in the heart, and pacemaker cells, which are stimulatory cells for the conduction of impulse. They are modified cardiomyocytes, which actually controls your heartbeat. Now, how the conductive system of the heart works. So in this diagram you can see actually, so the impulse actually generates from SA node, then it transfers to AV node. Okay, AV node to bundle of his, you can see the diagram, right bundle branch, then the Purkinje fibers, and further again this cycle continues. So by the impulse is given, then the ventricles contract, relax, atrial contracts, relax. So that is actually the process which repeats on. So this is the conducting system of the heart. Other functions are done by the secretion by heart, which is called as atrial natriuretic peptide, which actually does released by the heart, which actually release in the plasma cells and in the blood. So they actually excretion of salt, they increase, they do vasodilation, they increase the vascular permeability. Okay, so this is actually the basic anatomy of the heart. I think it is clear. Chambers, valves, muscles, development, location, surfaces, everything I have told you. Okay, and the wall inside, what are the layers, basic layers, and the blood circulation. Thank you.